And all we're going to do is just mush it all together. And now I'm hoping I made enough filling for 6. Oh, and you can see it's not super wet, so it'll hold together nicely. Alright, just going to check that for seasoning just to make sure. Might add a little bit of spice, just in case. Olives. Oh, okay. You know what? Let me go check in the pantry and see if I have any. I'm going to turn my mic off just because I might have to do a little bit of rustling. Behave. Or don't, actually. Please don't. It's more fun when you don't. I will be right back.
I love cone. Cone.
That sounds delicious, Joel, dude. Look what I found.
Emotional damage.
So we're gonna grab just a few, chop them up roughly. Also, they don't need to. Yeah, that's the problem. That's why I asked them to behave, which is basically please don't redeem everything all at once so that you can hear them, but they get excited. And that's okay, because they get all their points back, so they just get to do it again. And again and again and again. Let's see if I can get this jar open. Okay, I'm gonna mute my mic because I need to smack this. We good? That's a jar of death? Yeah. But I got it open. Ah, yes. Ouch. Wow. So, just need to pit a few of these. Means I don't need to chop them because we're just going to take the pits out. We need a smaller knife though. If I'd been smart, I would have bought the ones that don't have all in them. Because clearly, you know, I don't value my time. I need a cherry pitter. Decided I need a cherry pitter. I've been holding off because I don't really... Yeah, exactly. Oh no! Laura, all of them? All of them? Oh, that was a terrible pun. That was not intended. Yeah. No, they don't want to do the avocado thing. I was hoping the avocado thing would work, but no. Because usually when the olives have pits, they're going into my mouth. And I'm eating them and then spitting out the stuff.
Sweetie,
yeah.
honey, darling.
Oh.
For the love of all that is holy, put something under the cutting board.
Ah, yes. The voice of reason. I love the voices of reason, don't get me wrong. I do. I do. I knew something. It's funny, it looked different. See, and that lasted how often? Or how long did that last today that I didn't need to hear that? Like... exactly one segment. Okay, well, it's not going too bad now. Yeah, I need a cherry pitter. I've been holding off getting one because I didn't think I really needed one, but now that I know I have this entire jar of olives that needs to be pitted, I'm getting a cherry pitter. Because I don't use cherries. Cherries aren't one of my more usual fruits. And when I do use them usually, it's frozen just because cherry season is so short around here. And cherries were bloody expensive this year. I don't know about anywhere else, but cherries were ridiculous this year. So. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Type in my chat. Hang on. I need to move things. I need to get my keyboard. I have everything. Cherries are always expensive. Yeah, they've been really bad. Yeah, old Jolt, dude, 100%. Now that I know I can actually use it for olives, I will definitely. Excellent. Oh, did I spell it incorrect? Okay, I tried to do Quixotic Jedi 2 as well. I will, if I missed you afterwards, I will do it once I'm done here. And then that way you'll be able to access some of the commands that you can't get to. But I will do that at the end, because for some reason my computer's like, no, can't do that. And I know I'm not out of VIPs, so... And y'all are VIPs to me, so... I will go through and fix that once we are done here. Oh, the Rainier ones are so pretty. I just love the color, like that sort of cream with that really light sort of pinky red is so pretty. But yeah, no. And to be fair, the ones that we got this year weren't that great. Like I looked at the farmer's market because I was considering doing a cherry day, and I couldn't find enough that were worth buying to justify the price. Like, there were a lot of really sad looking ones that looked like they took the hard road to farmer's market. So, I think that should be enough olives for this. We don't want to over olive it, because there are some olives in that salt that I added, so. Alright. Yeah, no, I'm buying a pitter. I've got a jar like this. I need a pitter. I'm just gonna slide the lid back on there before I forget. Get that out of the way. Alright, Slavic, thank you so much for being here. Oh, yes, Quixotic Jedi. I hear that. That is 100% a major issue, and why I don't eat a lot of them. But, yeah, no, enjoy your shower. Alright. A little bit more of a chop on these. Yeah, that's plenty. I'm happy with that. Now, should I make Tactical need to yell at me again? No, I will not. I will not. I will be a good bonsai and remember. A scraper. There we go. I do love my food mover. It's so versatile. Okay. I'm going to move this stuff out of the way. We're going to finish mixing this up, and then we're going to start building some pouches. Well, more like beggar's purses, I guess, for lack of a better term. Only I'm not going to be tying them at the top. Really all fancy-like with... I know I've seen them done with, like, chives that... Oh, are they, Tat? Really? Oh, yeah. No, it's funny. I have... Yeah. Like... Thinking about it now as I've said it, I'm like, you know what, like, I like cherries, but they're not, like, a be-all and end-all for me. Like, if I couldn't eat things like strawberries or raspberries, I would be much more sad. Okay, so we've got those olives in here. I'm really happy with how that looks. And we have come to the point of the show where we start building pouches. Now, I'm going to grab that phyllo that we made. I'm going to slide it off because I'm actually going to use this piece of parchment here as my bottom. Try not to waste too much parchment. I tend to be guilty of that sometimes. So that's going to go on my tray right there. And all we're going to do is we're going to start grabbing our sheets here that we've made. I'm going to try and get relatively similar shapes. I know that they're not going to be perfect, and I'm okay with that. I have to be okay with it. Okay. Yes. Yeah. My apologies, excuse me. All of a sudden I have a tickle in my throat. I think I inhaled some pepper. Thank you, Fun Shop, I appreciate that. Like, I think I got some salt stuck in the back of my throat. Oh yes, Shelizabeth. Shelizabeth is the queen of knowing exactly how to eat a bunch and not feel so great. But you can't stop yourself because they're so delicious. So I totally get that. Okay, so we're just going to lightly brush some butter here. That's going to really help with the crispiness as we're doing this. We're also going to put that down so that'll stop my parchment from moving around. If you wanted to, you could put a little water on your tray underneath to keep your parchment from moving. Or you can weight it down like this, either way. Let's grab another slice of phyllo here. And we're just going to sort of overlap it. And this one, I'm just going to stretch out just a bit more, just like pizza dough. Just get your knuckles under it. And sort of from the center pull out. And then we're just going to sort of drape it over. Overlapping there. And get a little bit more butter on that. Just around the edges. And then we are going to take our filling here. And the good thing is you just need this dough to cook through. You're not actually cooking the filling. If you had some sort of meat in here, which you're entirely welcome to do, you would need to be more careful. I would actually recommend cooking the meat before you put it in. And then all we're going to do is we are going to roll over like this. A little bit of a pullback. And a roll, kind of like a burrito. And then I'm actually going to cut this excess off here because that's going to be too much. I'm just going to let it sit on the tray and cook up because it'll be delicious and crispy. But there we go. And like I said, you can get them to this point and then you can freeze them. So like I said, just put them on the tray, put them in the freezer. I'm just going to put a little bit of butter right here. Let that stick a bit. Oops. And then we're going to egg wash these to get a nice brown on them. I'm just going to slide that one up to the side there. And we're going to do the next one. Told you guys. Eat entire chocolate cake. Oh, okay. Oh, but this stuff was mixed on toasted French bread. Oh yeah, Joel, dude, that sounds delicious. That really does sound delicious. Tapenade, 100%. Oh, I love tapenade. I love tapenade. Oh, I think that might actually be on my weekend to forage for list. There's some really good black olives. I haven't had any in a while, so I'm just gonna stretch this baby out. And I've got a couple little holes there. That's my fault because I put my fingernails through it, but that's fine. It's still going to be beautiful and delicious. So just remind yourself that it's never lost. You can always work with things. Don't ever give up on something if it doesn't look perfect. It's still going to taste good. Like, don't be so hard on your... and I'm guilty of this, which is why I'm saying this out loud, is don't be too hard on yourself. Yes, we haven't spent years at culinary school or whatever making things perfect. Ah, yes. Egg wash here. Exactly. Exactly. And you know what? You just... if you're making it for the enjoyment of feeding other people, or for your making it to feed yourself and just the enjoyment of that, like, that's all that matters. So be kind to yourself. That is Bonsai's statement for the day. Just be kind to yourself. Be kind to other people too, but be kind to yourself, because you know what? We're way too hard on ourselves. And life is too short to be worried about pastry holes or not plating up perfectly, or you know, all those silly things that I know I get in my head about. So, all right, got the butter. Oh God, I love it. All right, let's get the next bit of filling in here. Perfect. Okay, so I did make enough for 3. Awesome. Like I said, you could do these in a number of different ways. You could do smaller ones and do triangles. Exactly. I endorse the specials 100%. Ugly and delicious is my wheelhouse. Ah, interesting. I do like ugly food tastes good food. You know what? We are way too hard on ourselves. And like I said, I am 110% guilty of that. 100%. 110%. Yeah, we need to just be nicer, not to each other, but to ourselves. Because you know what? We only have one life, and it's not particularly long, so you know what? Enjoy it. Eat that food, have that drink, go on that great, adventure. Do it. Do it. Do it. I might not go on the adventure right now because it's really cold out, but the other things I'm going to do, I'm going to have these. I'm going to put these in my face. But, yeah. So, anyways, now I'll get back to finishing this. I need that little Jesus background that Underground has. Alright. So, just, again, we're going burrito style here. And because this is so thin, you're not having to worry about it being, super thick on the outsides. It is going to be a little thicker underneath, obviously, but there we go. Like I said, I'm going to brush it with a little bit of butter here just to make sure we're all good and sticky and get all nice and crispy, and that's perfect. Oh my goodness, I can smell those buns in the oven. Delish. Okay. And one more. Which is perfect, because we're just about at the time for those to be finished. These can sit for a few minutes while we wait for the buns to start, and we can make that Moroccan filling that I've been talking about for 2 hours now. Oh, hello, Elise. Elise is my sister. Love you. Hope you're having a great day. Are you at Mom and Dad's? Elizabeth, is Elise over at your house? I'm like, that's a silly question to be asking her. And she's not the one writing, but, yeah, anyways, yeah, Elise is the older of my 2 younger sisters.
Well, hello.
Rye Guy, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in. If you're not following Rye Guy, please make sure you do. Not only does he do quality DJ content, he also likes to take us on kayak adventures, which is super fun. Or was that... Sorry. I'm getting my people confused. I apologize. Anyways, super, I know the super DJ part is correct. Oh, why am I putting on more? That was Prime that went kayaking. I always get confused. All you West Coasters get me confused. You've come to the balls. Yes. Agree. Oh, she's home? Okay. Oh, so, yeah, she can't watch me on her regular phone. She has to watch me on her work phone, so she can't actually sign in as a Twitch person, so... But she stalks me, and I love it. Okay. I'm joking, Elise. I'm joking. Slide that guy out of the way. Need a little bit of room here. Let's stretch that out a bit. Get the last bit of filling here. Might have a little bit left over, but that's okay. Anyways, yes, please make sure you're following Rye Guy. That's a perfect mouthful. The chef's bite. I always like to call that, well, not the chef, the cook's bite in my case, but that's the best part. It's that last little bit. Oh, I forgot to butter this. Oops. There we go. I got so excited about talking to my sister and screwing up 2 completely different West Coasters, but equally well loved. And, I'm gonna brush this now while I'm thinking about it. Okay. Perfect. Slide this butter aside because we're going to need that again for the worka later. There we go. So we have our lovely phyllo parcels here. Like I said, if you wanted to freeze them from now, you can definitely put them in the freezer like this, let them freeze completely, then you can slide them into a airtight container or a plastic bag, and then you can cook them from frozen. You don't need to let them come to temperature or anything, just cook them from frozen. I'm just sort of making them even sized here so that we cook evenly. These are going to cook for about 20 minutes. So once we have the oven ready, we're going to do that. Right guy, good to see you. Oh, here, Nathan. That sounds delightful. Right guy, we made brioche dough that I've made just a regular loaf of bread out of. I've also made cheese and green onion cinnamon roll type looking things, swirl buns. These are homemade phyllo pastry that I've filled with a combination of feta, goat cheese, roasted red peppers, rosemary and green olive sea salt, and some Castrovetrano olives. And then last but not least, we're going to make a Moroccan spice filling to go in what's called it's a Moroccan pie, but it's going to be made with what's called a warka pastry, also brick pastry, which is a very traditional North African version of phyllo, for lack of a better explanation for it. I'm going to egg wash these guys. And we're going to let those sit. The egg wash, you always want to get that nice golden brown delicious happening. I'm just going to actually go check on my buns that are in the oven and see how those are looking. These can sit aside for a few minutes. I'm just going to drape them with a little bit of plastic wrap just to keep them from drying out. So let's see here. There we go. Don't want anything drying out, so we're just going to give them a light tint. And those will sit aside, because unfortunately the buns needed to be done at 325 and these need to be done at 390. So we're going to do that. Ooh! Oh, that sounds delightful. I would normally be like excited about things that have spinach in them, but I don't like cooked spinach, but I love raw spinach, but those sound delightful, which is why I've never made spanakopita, but I love feta on its own, so that's why I sort of went with the red pepper thing. I'm gonna check my buns, see how we're doing here. I'm gonna do the peak down first, and then I'm gonna do the slight open. And you guys are not gonna believe these, but they need some more time. So I'm actually gonna crank the heat just a smidge, and we're gonna let those go for about another 10 minutes or so, which is perfect. I need to reset my timer. Alright, so I'm going to slide this out of the way, this out of the way, and we are going to move on to our filling for our Moroccan pie. And the last thing we'll do with that is we'll do the the pastry last, because it's a little bit different. You use a pan that's been set over boiling water, and you brush it on, because it's like a crepe batter or a pancake batter, very liquid, and it's just flour and water. So got that all ready from last night. That's been sitting, and it'll get a little bit of fermentation going, so it'll have a little bit of richer flavor. And yeah, but let's get the induction burner, because we need to cook some stuff up here. Beauty is I've already done my chickpeas and I've already done my sweet potatoes. I just boiled them. You could roast them if you want, but I've just got sweet potato here, and then I've got chickpeas that I soaked overnight and then cooked for about an hour and a half this afternoon. So, and we just need to get some of our other pieces together. We need some onion. Need some garlic. We need all kinds of fun stuff, actually. This is a really cool pie. I'm going to start with the chopping parts that need to be done. And just moving my tray because it's in the way. Oh my goodness. I always try to be like fairly organized, and then it just never works out that way. So my apologies that I had to walk out of your view for a second here, but we'll be right back. And before anybody has a chance to, voila! Board keeper. And I'm just going to grab a bowl to put all this stuff in, because we have a number of things that we need to chop. Well, not a number of them, but I want to get them all out of the way. So we're going to start with a couple onions. And for those of you who are not usually here, there is a garbage can beside me on the floor here. I'm not just throwing food on the floor. Raised cabbage instead of noodle. Yeah, sorry, napalm, if you're napalm, I'm going back to yours.
But it's kind of hot.
Why, thank you. Just went back to Fear Napalm's comment about these cabbage bolognese. Yum. That sounds delightful. And I'm going to do the fairly quick way of chopping, because we don't need them to be perfect. It is going into a pie. This is the cheater's way that I always used to do. And it looks like it's going to work quite well today. Like I said, we want little chunks. Everything's going to be chunky today. Got the chickpeas. You could add lentils if you wanted. I think I'm going to have enough chickpeas and sweet potato that I'm not going to go with the lentils. So, for anybody that doesn't do fancy chopping, this is the easy way to do it. I do fancy chopping, but I can't see right now, so we're just going to talk about it. I do have a really heavy one, but I need to oil it and get it back. I did the cardinal sin and I let it go dry. So I'm trying to bring it back from the dead. So I've been oiling it and keeping an eye on it, and hopefully it'll be ready for service soon. I've also been looking for another one. Like, I've seen those booze blocks and stuff, and I'm just like, oh, I really want one of those. So I need to stop cutting because I can't see anything right this second. And I like my fingers. And I'm pretty sure you guys don't want to see me cut them off. Well, and if you're here for that, then I apologize. I'm going to disappoint you. But, okay. There we go. Now we can see again. Let's get those tears out of the way. But yeah, no. And, well, that's why I bought this stuff. And this is literally just like dollar store shelf liner. It works really well for pretty much everything. You know, I think that's about as much onion as I want to put in there. I don't want to go too crazy, because we've got a lot of other seasonings. I don't want the onion to take over. So we're going to stick with one. You could, if you like more onion, you can definitely add more onion. I'm certainly not going to tell you what to do. I am not your mom. But, yeah. Oh, that sounds beautiful. Lumpy pickle! Oh, thank you. Thank you for that. Actually, Nara also told me to rinse my knife off, and that was a really smart move too. So I'm going to do all of that. Of course, now that I'm done that, yeah. No, that's quick side of that sounds beautiful. There's actually at the farmer's market there was a guy who does really beautiful wood implements, and I'm thinking of going back there and treating myself. He does beautiful spoons. Like, that's one of his spoons. And yeah, so he also does cutting boards. So I'm thinking of going back there and treating myself, because why not? And I'm going to grab some garlic here. I'm actually going to grate this in. I'm not going to chop it, because as you've been here before, you know my mantra, work smarter, not harder. So just going to peel these. Treat yourself. Exactly. Bowls and not balls. Yep. Well, and Christmas is coming too, so you know, I've always been one of those people that, oh, one for them and one for me, and one for them and two for me. No, I'm kidding. Usually 5 for me, but... So... And plus Black Friday sales are coming up too, and I know, like, I personally think it's ridiculous, but, you know, if it saves me money, I'll go for it. Gotta slap chop it. Mimosas and fine leather goods. I'm not your mom! I'm sorry, PDS, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If you need me to tell you what to do, I will tell you what to do. I am going to tell you to have an absolutely fantastic rest of your Friday. Also, we're going to tell you to enjoy your dinner, and I'm hoping day drinking turns into evening drinking. And that's about the extent of being your mom that I can be today. Because I do not have first-hand experience. Oops. I know my mom would probably tell me other things, but I can't come to... Oh, and you catch more flies with honey than you do with vinegar? And what's the other one? If you can't say anything nice, come sit by me. Ah, yes! Yes! River So Wide, 100%. Zillow After Dark, and Cube. And now that I've got a fun computer and can actually play games, now I just need to learn how to play games. I do have Steam. I do actually have a Steam account. I did sign up when Underground and Database and Boogstown first did their VR chat thing. I wanted to be able to show up, but unfortunately my computer doesn't... Current computer, as it stands, doesn't have the ability to function. But now that I've got a new one coming up, we should be pretty solidly ready to get going there. A bird in the hand gets the worm. Yes! Oh, stream the Rusty Lake games. But apple cider vinegar works at catching fruit fly. Exactly. Yes. Funk Shop, you know what? Whatever makes you feel good, you are a chef. Do you need me to tell you you're a chef? I will tell you you're a chef. I am happy to do that. Because I am just faking it till I make it right now. We're just about to throw a whole bunch of stuff in a pot, get it all fried up, and then we can start on the pastry part. So, I'm gonna grab Indy here, my darling induction burner, greatest thing that I ever received. Thank you, Elizabeth, again. Made my life so much easier. New PC waiting, yes, exactly. Ooh, peach nectar bellinis. Ooh. Ah. Chroma is still a mixologist and is our go-to resource for all things drink related. So I'm pretty sure that you could give him anything and he would be able to... Oh, I forgot to chop up my apricots and my dates. Let me get that going first. Sorry, I forgot about those. I'm pretty sure that if you had any questions whatsoever about how to put things together, Chroma would be your resource. Also, Chroma Passport Wallet, where are you going? And hopefully it's here.
$5
Mark
a
Delight,
month.
7 months! Oh my goodness! Hello, my friend, how are you? Thank you so much. It's best to use it for grease engines. Oh, okay, I've got some dried apricots here. Oh, that guy looks a little too dry. So does that one. And that's typical of African food, is dried fruits. They tend to have a lot of them. So we're going to use those. And we're going to get some dates in there. 22-2! Good afternoon, evening, morning, wherever you are. Welcome in. Thank you so much for stopping by. Yes, please make sure you are following our friend Mark Delight, who is back after being away in the UK and then coming home to a less than ideal situation. So, his place flooded. Oh god, I hate cutting these. Why did I do this? Ugh. You know what? We're not having apricots because we don't have time to watch me struggle with those. But yes, he is back on the waves with Morning Metal Waves. So definitely make sure you give him a follow. Yeah. Oh, so glad to hear that. He's currently broadcasting from the secret cave, aka the dining room, I believe it was. So we are just glad you're back, my friend, and I hope your trip was really good. I know that coming back to a flooded basement is not... Okay, you know what? Maybe scissors will work better on those, because clearly we are not getting through them with knives. Secret dining room location, yeah. Oh, you know what? We're going to cut these with scissors. Because I don't have the patience to knife these. Pro tip! If you don't feel like cutting dried fruit because it's a little too dry, I could have rehydrated them a little bit, but the problem is that I don't want that extra liquid in there, so we'll just cut. And that's why everybody needs a good pair of kitchen scissors. It's also imperative when you want to spatchcock a chicken or a turkey or whatever, a bird of any sort. Take out the backbone. So, just trying to. I'm gonna have good grip strength by the end of today. That's for sure. How are we doing on our buns? We got about 4 minutes left on those buns in the oven. My scissors are now getting sticky. Maybe this wasn't the greatest idea. Petrified fruits? Yeah, exactly. Oh, Candy Kid Zora, thank you so much for coming by. I appreciate you. I hope you're doing okay, and I will catch you soon, and love you very much. Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, my SO is pretty lucky. I agree. I agree, Scotch Bear. He's pretty awesome. I think he knows he's pretty awesome. This stream would not happen without him, so. Sticky scissors. Yeah, these are petrified. Lumpy, these are petrified for sure. For sure. You know what? That's enough apricots. I'm making an executive decision. That's enough apricots, and we're going with that. So we've got those out of the way. Do those. And let's try this again. We're going to get the onions and garlic frying off just on a very low heat. We just want to get those softened. So we're going to go very low heat because we don't want that garlic to burn. A little bit of olive oil. Who's that? Yeah. Aw, thank you. Zora, right? Yes. Cryptid 100%. I am a fan of using scissors to cut things that are a little tough, and the Koreans are too. And yeah. Zora, I love you. You're hilarious. And I'm so glad that you stopped by today. It was so good to see you. I've missed you. I'm just going to grab a wooden spoon. And did anybody tell which one I used? Yeah, laser cutter, 100%. Anyone tell which one I used for my red stuff that I made for Halloween? This is what happens when you use food dye and don't get your spoon washed off quick enough. So I'm just gonna get that oil spread around there, and then we're gonna get these onions and garlic in there. Let's start softening. Get a little bit of a sizzle. You want to keep an eye on it because the garlic is in with it. I know that's really weird. I don't usually do it that way, but that's how they do it. So we're gonna go with it. Win in Morocco. And that's also why I grated it in, because you're less likely to have it burn if you don't have it in slices. So let's do that. And while that's happening, I'm going to grab the rest of my stuff coming up. All of the seasonings. Move things out of the way. All right. So once those get just a smidge softer, a little bit of color. Oh God, I love that smell. Who does not love the smell of garlic and onions frying? There is literally nothing better. Big things. Ah, love you guys. Underutilized in the West. 100%. 100%. I really think that a good pair of kitchen shears is definitely a necessary kitchen tool. Those are not the best ones. Again, I have an Amazon cart full of things that I just need to pull the trigger on. But those work quite well for what they are. I would like a pair with a slightly longer bottom so that when you're doing a spatchcock, it's a little less unwieldy. Especially if you're doing a larger bird like a turkey. Chickens, it's okay, but larger birds, it's a little tough. Okay, I'm going to let those buns sit in the oven for a couple minutes because I want to get the rest of this going here. We're going to go with some fennel seed. going to help toast them off a bit as well too. Get that nice anise flavor in there. And go with some cumin seed. Gonna give those a quick second to temper a bit in that oil. Oh, smells so good. And this is the part of the show where I don't measure anything. I just sort of go by feel. So my apologies if it's a bit of this and a little bit of that, but that's kind of how I operate, unfortunately, for the most part. So I'm gonna go with some ginger. Grab a spoon here, it's easier. So I'm going with ground ginger. And we're gonna go with some cinnamon. Not too much. But cinnamon is very common in African foods, so you're gonna find those together like that. About 8 grams of ginger, yeah, exactly. Oh, no, it's not a wish list. It's just it's a list of things that I have when I go looking on Amazon for one thing, and then I find 85 things. I just put them down, and then I go back a few weeks later, and I'm like, oh, did I really need that? No, probably not. So, oh, it smells so good. And it's interesting when you add cinnamon to savory, like this. Just so completely different world. And okay, I'm happy with that. Now we are going to add a little bit of Ras Al Hanout, which is just a blend of spices. I will tell you what they are. It is paprika, coriander, fenugreek, cumin, ginger, allspice, turmeric, and salt. And it's sort of the ubiquitous Middle Eastern African spice blend. So I'm going to go with a bit of that. About that much. Because we're also going to put in... I need to move this out of the way because it's going to tip over. It doesn't have a Ziploc. Who makes spice bags without a Ziploc these days, I swear. Get that in there. Get a little toast on that. I'm going to add just a smidge more oil just to get a little bit going there. A little dry. I don't want to add water because I really want to toast these up. I don't want to dilute them. So, a little bit more oil in there. Just get a good fry on that. Oh, smell on this. I get it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Quixotic Jedi, I 100% do not understand that at all. It boggles my mind. I'm sure there's a reason. I just don't know what it is, and there really shouldn't be a reason. Now I'm going to go in with some pomegranate molasses.
Yum!
About 2 tablespoons there. And that's got that sort of sweet, bitter thing going. It's going to get really nice and sticky. Sorry. I don't usually lick my fingers while I do things, so I apologize, but there we go.
Wow.
That was a random thing that never happens. Usually much better than that. And we're going to get that stirred around. And we're going to get all of this deglazed off the bottom of the pot with some water and some veg stock in a second. The last thing I need to add is my favorite thing on the planet when it comes to this is sumac, harissa. And I love the harissa. I'm also going to grab sumac because I actually love sumac too. I don't know why I didn't bring it out. But it used to come in a tube. Now it comes in a can. So it is a beautiful pepper blend. So I like it. It's super spicy. If it's not your thing, you don't have to use as much as I did. But it is kind of intrinsic in Moroccan and North African cooking. So I would not recommend not using it. But if you can't handle that much spice, you could definitely use a tomato paste and maybe a lighter chili, like a Kashmiri chili would be okay. But I love the hot pepperiness of it. So I'm going to let that cook off for a second while I get some water ready. Sumac, yeah. Oh, pomegranate molasses. It's beautiful. You can find it at specialty stores. It's got that same kind of consistency as regular molasses, but it's got that beautiful fruitiness. It adds that sort of acidic kick and that sort of glazy juiciness that you're looking for, which is exactly what I'm looking for here. And I am very happy with how that looks, and it smells even better than it looks, I'll be honest. Then we are going to add, oh, I'm going to grab that sumac, almost forgot. Because I love that sort of, where is it? I love that sort of acidic citrus flavor that it gives. But we are going to also grab our buns out of the oven before I forget. So I'm going to take this off while we do that because I don't want that to burn. And we need to get our stuff out here. I think we are pretty flipping perfect.
Wow.
Hello? Somebody call the fire department. I think we've got a big one here. Oh. Yeah. I'm happy with that. That is cooked through beautifully. It's got a lovely brown color on the bottom.
Mia, that's a spicy meatball.
I'm sorry, y'all.
I like
Come
this.
on.
This is cute.
Thank you.
I want this inside. of me.
Sumac. Lumpy. This is starting to look like a URC stream. Oh, come on. That's exactly what it is. We are all about the United Nations of food here. Sorry, I'm just hanging on to this really hot tray. I just need to go put it somewhere because I can't just put it down on the counter. It will.
I like this. This is cute. I want this inside of me.
Great job.
Oh, y'all are so cute. All right,
I don't know
sorry.
what
Needed
this
to get
is,
that out of the
but
way.
It's kind of
But come on. Oh, my goodness. So happy with that.
What you want? You're a wizard, Harry. You're a wizard.
All right. So I will turn the oven
job.
up so that we can get those phyllo parcels in there. I'm just going to move this out of the way because I know that we're going to need that shortly. That's going to be our setup for making our Wonka pastry. But just going to let you guys bask in the beauty. And I don't know if you can hear it. What's sort of that hollowy sound. I'm going to let them sit in the pans and cool. If I try to move them right now, they are going to fall apart. So, beauty of this, you can see it's already starting to pull apart from the sides. So all I have to do is just undo the ring. It'll be beautiful. All right, back to our main event here.
emotional damage.
Emotional damage. Oh, that funky sound. Oh, thanks, Chroma. I appreciate that. All right, we're going to add just a little sumac to make it stewmac. Thank you, Lumpy Pickle. I appreciate that. Just going to move some things out of the way that we don't need. I tend to collect items and then not know what to do with them later, so I'm going to let that cook through just a smidge. Hey, Tactical, did your pans came in, obviously, if you're planning on doing cheesecake part 1. I'm excited for that. Pumpkin cheesecake is delightful. Because I meant to show you, actually, the pan that I used for those was actually part of a 3-pack. It came with, that's awesome. So it came with an 8-inch, a 9-inch, and a 10-inch. So that's the 10-inch, and I'm going to do the pie in an 8-inch once we get all the stuff done there. All right, that's cooked down. Enough for me. Now I'm using a vegetable concentrate here rather than a broth. This is just easier. It's also salt-free, so that's good. And then I'm going to add some water. Where did I? There we go. I moved all my cups before I started. And then we're going to put the chickpeas and the sweet potatoes in, and we're just going to let them simmer down. And don't want to use all the sweet potatoes. I don't want to dump them in. Probably should put them in before the water, but oh well. That's okay. I'm going to use about half these sweet potatoes. The rest I'll save. And I made more chickpeas than I needed just because I'm actually going to roast the rest of them off as a snack because I enjoy roasted chickpeas as a snack. This stew could also be made with chicken. I'm sticking vegetarian today just because, but it's easily, you could add cooked chicken thighs. What about dude peas? Yeah. Slavic, I will definitely make sure you get this. I just need to write it out because it's sort of a mix mash of a bunch of different things, but I will make sure. It's funny, I actually have to go back through my VODs sometimes and actually write down what I've done because I forget. I sort of freestyle on stream and then it's like, oh shoot, I don't remember what I did. And get those dried fruits in there. Don't want a whole lot, it's just for a little bit of extra sweetness. And then we're just going to turn this up and let that cook down a bit because we want to get as much liquid out as we can. We don't want sloppy stew because that's just going to sog out our pastry. And what's the one thing we don't want, kids? Soggy bottom. Yeah, exactly. Oh, I appreciate that. Garbanzo bean. Yeah, I've called them both my whole life. It just depends on what happens to be. This recipe said chickpeas, so I'm like, okay, chickpeas, I'm killing you right now. I'm sorry, Funk Shop. I'm sorry. The last thing we're going to add, and I know this is a controversial one, so you definitely do not have to add this if you do not want to.
I like this.
Is some dried mint.
I want this inside.
Also very common. Just a smidge. Just a pinch. But it's just got that depth that you don't get from fresh mint. And it just adds that sort of green note to it. This is a very brown stew. So I'm going to turn up the heat on that and let that go. I'm going to bring it to a boil and just let it sort of boil off there. That gives us perfect timing to Did I texturize the bottom with a fork? Yeah, this would be delicious just as it is. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to grab a cover because I know that once that starts bubbling, it's going to turn everything around it orange. So we're just going to do that because I have fun cleaning my walls, but I try not to do it more than, like once a week. Oh, tuta de gio. Oh, that sounds delicious. That sounds delicious. PDS, enjoy your meal. That's amazing. I'm so excited to hear that. Can't wait to hear all about it. Alright, so we're going to go back to the stove. You can see our lovelies. I'm just going to pet them every time I come by because they make me so happy. They did spread a bit, so that's my fault. I could have made the balls a little easier, more even. But that's basically what we're looking for. Don't touch hot hands with your hands, Bonsai. Bonsai! Alright, so we've got our beautiful rolls here. And we are going into the oven. And these are going to go in for about 15-20 minutes. I'm going to go probably closer to 20 just because they are on the large side. At 390, 400. Timer's over here because I'm smart like that now. Bring the timer over here so I don't have to go walk across the kitchen for it. 1920. There we go. All right, so that's going to go. Most balls are irregular, no biggie. Exactly. So as you can see, it's starting to come to a nice boil. I'm trying to decide. I think I might actually attempt the Wonka pastry over there because this is the fun thing. I've never actually made brick pastry. I've seen it made. I've thought about making it, but I've never actually done it. So this is going to be a first for all of us. If it doesn't work, I do have pie crust in the fridge that we can use to fill and make a pie crust and put that filling in there. But yeah, I always have backups. I always have plan B. Yeah, this is fine. It's all fine. So we're going to let this boil down and we are going to, I think I'm going to do it on the stove just because there's more room and I don't think this camera, if I put the pan on top of the pot, I don't think it'll I don't think you'll be able to see it as well. I think you'll be able to see it better if I do it over there. So first thing I need to do is I need to get a pot going to get the water boiling. And it needs to be at a fairly good boil, because remember, it is going to be the only heat source for your pan that you've got sitting on top of it. The other good thing you need to note is that the size of your pot is going to determine how big your pastry is going to work. So you want to make sure that you have a pan big enough, a pot big enough for the pan surface that you're trying to paint, because anything that's not within this will not cook. So I'm just going to park my pan over it like this. We're just going to, like, covering it. We're going to bring it to a boil. Going to let that go, and we're going to come check our stew again. It smells amazing in here. I'm actually just going to give it a quick check for seasoning too. And it's reducing quite nicely. That sweet potato is going to break down even more and thicken things up. So I'm really happy with that. That is beautiful. Yeah, and that's fair. That's completely fair. And there are times when I just don't have the time to do it, or like I all of a sudden have something come up that I was not expecting. So like, store-bought is awesome now. There's so many good options out there. And same thing with pie crusts and stuff too. Like, if you don't feel like making your own, like, there's so many good options out there that it almost makes sense to save your sanity most times and use a store-bought version. Alright, so while we're waiting for that, I'm just going to show you guys this. I'm also going to move some food. I'm just going to put some stuff in the fridge. Sorry, I just need to get things out of the way so we have some room. And that way we can keep going without having to worry about anything going crazy over in the corner here. Just don't want anything melty. I'm actually going to put this cheese sauce in the fridge too before it gets... And with this cheese sauce, I just put plastic wrap on it, and where did I put my plastic wrap? Oh, there it is. Just put it on the surface so that it doesn't get a skin overnight. That was just me. Elizabeth. True. Now with my can of harissa there, I'm going to transfer it into a different container, and it will be good for a while in the fridge. I'm going to do something that I learned on Kanara's stream the other day, which is where I'm going to... She did it with her tomato paste. She actually, and this is a brilliant idea, can opens the bottom and then pushes it through. So I'm going to do that, but I'm going to do that later. Because this stuff used to come in a tube, it was so much easier. I'm not quite sure why they stopped, but yeah. So, pro tip, thanks to Kanara for that one, because that is something I'm going to use, and I'm sure everybody will use it. But I didn't put lemon in. I know, weird, odd. Bonsai, why are you not using lemon? It's because I use the sumac. If I didn't use the sumac, I would have put some lemon juice in this, just to get that acidity. But since I had the sumac, I'm going to use that. Alright, just doing some Jenga with some things. This out of the way. Again, please, if you are a spice manufacturer, hear my cry. Do not make anything without a zip top. It's just so much easier. Alright, so I'm going to slide this guy straight over here to continue its journey. That is the other beauty of an induction burner. It just travels. It just travels. We love it. We love it so much. Okay, I'm actually going to turn it down a little bit now, because it has fairly fairly significantly come down, so I'm happy with that. I don't want it to be completely dry. Grist in a jar, oh, much easier. Yeah, no. I went looking yesterday. Oh, thank you, 22 I appreciate that. Captain Happy Fan, it's good to see you. Welcome in. Yeah, you know what? 100%. 100%. If you have the time, I highly recommend it. If you don't, I highly recommend going to the store. It's not any worse. It's, you know, nobody's gonna be upset if you don't. So this is the Wonka or the brick mix. It's basically like pancake dough. It's water and flour that I've just mixed together to make really smooth. And all we're going to do is we're going to use a pastry brush and we're just going to paint this on our pan. Now, I have never done this before, so this will be very interesting to see if it works. I'm just sort of giving it a stir here just to sort of loosen it up a bit. I did put it in the fridge overnight and it was fine, and I took it out just so it could warm up, but it just needs a little bit of extra help here. So we're going to do that. And then we're going to take it over to the stove. We're also going to grab a tray. We're going to grab some parchment to put down on the bottom, and then we're going to butter the layers in between. We don't need to worry about putting parchment in between, but we're going to hopefully, there we go. Sticky gluten, exactly. I love it. LOL Dial-Up, welcome. Oh yeah, I love bulk spices. I actually buy a lot of my spices from the bulk store and then put them in my own containers when I get home. The problem is that I've just gotten really spoiled when I do buy bagged spices for various things. Most of them come with zip tops now, so the ones that don't kind of like, what? Why are you doing this to me? So, but yeah, no, I buy most of my spices in bulk. If you're in Canada, Bulk Barn is the best, and their spices are super cheap. So good. Anyways, now that I've done my promo for Bulk Barn, where did my pastry brush go? I had another one. So I used one for butter, now I need one for... And you want to use a nylon brush, you don't want to use a silicone brush. It will not work the same. Oh my goodness. We're literally having drawer hell right now. My apologies. It has a blue handle, for God's sakes. How can I not find it? It's in here. I know it's in here. Alright. It's time for the... It's time for the show. I did not want to show this to everybody, but apparently I don't have a choice. And you know what? It's probably going to be in the other drawer now. Just wait. It'll be in my other drawer. Oh my goodness. Are you kidding me? No, definitely not in the other drawer. And we shall not comment on the state of my drawers or how much stuff is in them. Okay? Oh, Lumpy Pickle, that's me on a daily basis. Cryptid and I had this conversation yesterday about not being able to find things, like not being able to find your phone when you have it in your hand, or not being able to find your glasses when they're on your face or on your head. So, yeah. Alright. Looks like that is a no-go. I did have 2 nylon bristle, but that's not happening. So, what we're going to do is we're going to quickly wash the one that has the butter. We're going to switch out for a nylon and, silicone. And we're going to use that one for the Wonka, because otherwise we're going to be here for 8 hours, and I'm sure the rest of you want to go home and do things today. So, let's see how our pan is getting here. That's getting pretty close to hot. Not quite boiling yet. And that'll give me time to rinse this out. I'm not too concerned about it having butter in it. But I swear I had 2 of these and I don't know where the second one went, so now I'm sad. And this is coming along nicely. I'm going to turn this down even further. basically all it needs to do is be able to brush on better. Thank you. Oranges! I love that! That's amazing. Okay, so I've got my brush. That size of brush. Like I said, it's got a little bit of butter. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine, like I said. Oh, nice. Today and Monday? Sweet, I only have today. Alright, we're gonna head over to the stove and get set up here. I'm also going to stop touching things with your bare hand. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. I'm gonna grab a rack for that and move it off so I can put my plate down. There we go. Oh, that's not bad at all now. Perfect. Okay. I just seem to be shuffling things. I don't actually make any room. Okay. Got our butter. Still pretty liquidy. That'll be good. Slide that. Got our tray there. That guy to the back. And... Ooh! Okay. Okay! Yeah, that's definitely hot. So, it's boiling underneath. And let's fingers cross this, because otherwise we're just going to have Moroccan stew on the side with our bread. That's fine. That's totally fine. Alright, so you're just supposed to grab some on your brush and just paint it on. Whoops. Paint it on like this. Fairly thin. And they say the first one usually doesn't work very well because you're sort of getting used to your pan. I'm going to go with that. You just kind of want a thin layer all the way around. And then you just let it firm up until it starts to pull away. Very similar to a crepe or a pancake. I'll let that sit. Do its thing. And it'll start to pull away from the sides. And then you'll be able to, once it dries, you should be able to pick it up. It should just take a couple minutes here. I know this piece isn't going to go very well, but that's okay. Just going to grab a napkin. Looks okay, yeah. Oh, okay, lovely. Yeah, no, I guess working from home for me has been kind of weird because I haven't really needed to take time off. Because kind of always feel like even though you're working, you still don't feel like you're totally working, so there's been that. Alright, so that stew is really nice and reduced. I'm happy with that. I'm going to turn that right down to 1, and we're going to come back to here. Now. Okay, okay. 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 And there we go. So we're going to put that down. I'm going to give that a little bit of a butter brush, and we're going to start number 2, because we need to get about 7 or 8 layers. Oops, how did onion skin get in there? That's going to keep it from getting too crispy as it sits. And let's do this again. All right. Okay, that was way more successful than I expected, so let's keep doing this, because I'm happy. We're going to try and get 7 or 8 of these for the bottom, and then we need 2 or 3 for the top. And then it literally takes like 15-20 minutes to bake in the oven just to get really good and crispy. Okay. Yes. Oh, holiday sales. Oof. Oof. Yeah, I wish I had a griddle. Thank you. Baklava. Very similar idea. This is actually what's called brick pastry, also called Warqa pastry, W-A-R-Q-A. And it's a North African version of phyllo. Oops, my pan just got a spree there. Yeah, so I did make the phyllo, which is in the oven, but this is sort of a similar, an adjacent, if you'd like to say, version of it. You put multiple layers, and then you put that stew that I made in it, and then you bake it, and if all goes well, fingers crossed. Sexy baby. Yeah. Oh, I just realized that I don't need to have that Stream Elements thing anymore about PDS. On Discord, I can actually say, come back to Twitch. You can watch them on Twitch. That's hilarious. Okay, so... And you want it to be able to pull away just like that. You're going to have the crispy edges. Those are the dry parts. And you don't have to worry about putting paper in between or stacking them. I've got the butter, so that'll keep them nice and lubricated. And that's also going to help it crisp up in the oven when we get it there. We're almost there, kids. We're almost there. This has been quite the adventure of dough. And the beauty of it is this brick pastry can also be done in advance. And then if you wanted to, you could put parchment in between the layers and freeze it like you would the phyllo or any kind of dough like that. It'll also keep well. Just make sure, as with anything, make sure it's well wrapped. So I always like to do a double or triple wrap. I always wrap in plastic and foil and then put in a freezer bag or an airtight container of some sort. So whatever you have handy, but yeah. And you can do these like as many as you want. I'm just sort of going for what I think I'm going to need for my pan that I'm using for my pies. But I'll let that go. Slapper acronyms, it is, but the original fuck water. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, it is a lot of work, but you know, it's a lot of fun. And it's one of those things, like, it looks like a lot of work because I'm doing a whole bunch of stuff all at once. This literally, if you put together this flour and water mix and then left it for an hour, then you could come back and do this and you would have this out of your way. And you wouldn't need to worry about your stew. You wouldn't need to worry about your rolls or your bread. I'm an overachiever and I want to show you guys a whole bunch of stuff in a short amount of time so that you get the best bang for your buck while you're here. That's still a little thick there. I'm going to give that another second. But yeah, so that's basically it. While that's cooking, I'm actually going to get my 8-inch pan here. And we are going to spray that with some spray as well. Because you definitely don't want anything sticking after all of this work. That would be so annoying to have it just fall apart on you. I recommend doing it in the spring form, just because it might stick a little bit on the side and that'll just make it easier for you to release it after. I think this guy's good to go. Perfect. And like, you can see how bendy it is. That's exactly what you want. It's not going to be as like light and fluffy as phyllo, but it's going to be pretty awesome. It's still going to get a good crisp on it, especially with all this butter. Come on. Butter makes everything better. So, once I get this one in, I'm going to start building the layers inside the tin so that we can get going here. And that'll also help determine how many more I need to make. And that's perfect timing. I will check on my phyllo as soon as I get this painted on here. Yeah, I would love to have a griddle. That would be amazing. I'd love to have the stove that Tactical has, which has the large center burner that you could do. I'd love to have a gas stove, first off. Then I'd love to have that center burner. And painting these ones a little thicker, just for some structural integrity. So, I'll let that go. I'm going to turn off my electronic leash. Ah, nice. Better. Last thing compares to the Postman always your dream. Postman. Alright, we're going to take a peek at those. Those need a little bit more time. They're a little soft still. I'm going to jack up the fur on them too. So let's get this pan, and I'll show you guys how we start doing this as I hide my buns. The way we do this is we're going to take our layer and we're just going to drape it right in like that and get it up the side. Don't worry if you have crumbly parts, not a problem. It's all gonna cover each other in the end. Just want to make sure that you get a good overlap. So we've got that. We're going to need about 3 more, I think, to do the bottom, just to make sure we've got a good solid bottom, because I can see there's a bit of a hole there, so that'll put that aside. Bring this back so we can put our next one down. Okay. Some butter on that. Because once we've got the bottom covered, then we can put our stew in. And we can get that going. And then we can do the top layers, because what you do is you sort of bring it up and sort of crinkle it over, and then you put a couple more crinkly parts on top. Not really a lid so much, but just a decoration. Oh. And let's see here. Getting pretty close there. Fire alarm. Oh no! The ones that are just drills. Oh, okay. Oh, I would love that. I would love that. Blackstone brittle for really big one. Oh, Dub Siren, good to see you. Welcome in. Sorry, as I'm rubbing my eye, I'm realizing I'm reading the name of a fantastic friend of the channel, an awesome DJ. Please make sure you're following Dub Siren, and please, Bonsai, do not touch the side of your pot with your bare hands. Somebody needs to make that. Somebody needs to make that. Clearly, that's something I need to be told on a regular basis. Alright, so we're starting to have a little collapse here. That's okay. Just gonna stuff that in there. And let's get this next layer in. And as you can see, that's really gonna... not gonna be a very thick layer. Oh, we're just falling down here. I think that's because I'm on an angle with my stove, so that would be why. There we go. So, perfect. I think we need 2 more for there, and then 2 more for the top. We should be good. Let's get some butter on that. And like I said, this is not this is not health food, this is mental health food, so the amount of butter is completely reasonable and totally expected. Oh, you know what? I think we're actually good. Let's see here. So we've got this all smooched in, and it'll also help hold up better once I get the chickpeas and sweet potato stew in there. So you know what? I'm kind of happy with that. I think we're just going to need a couple more for the lids, and we should be good. Totally worth it. Oh, yeah. No. Okay, this guy, I feel like I need like a alligator clip to keep him up the side. You know what, I'm going to do 1 more on the bottom just to make sure. Just to have a nice steady bottom. And then 2 for the top, and then we will be ready to slide that in the oven.
Emotional damage!
Aw, I hope I'm not giving anyone emotional damage. Asbestos tripod holder. Yeah, exactly. You know what? Texas Cryptid, I think that would be perfect. I think that would literally be perfect. Because that is pretty much exactly what I need to be told on a regular basis. Don't touch hot things with your bare hands. Despite being a grown-up. Yeah, I would love a smoke alarm that would understand between like burning, like your house is burning down, and oh, you're using your smoking gun to make some stuff for like smoking your ganaches or whatever. Like there's so many times I've wanted to do smoking lately, but the problem is that I can't leave my window open because it's cold, so I end up not being able to, which is so annoying. Slavic. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, I did that. I managed to, even though I was trying not to, manage to touch the edge of the rack in my oven with my hand. So, yeah, there's that. There's that. How are we doing here? Can we peel this away? Oh, yeah. Oh, whoop. And there she goes. Put her arm on the hot pot. So I'm just going to put this one right down at the bottom. Make sure everybody's in there. That'll give us that little extra help that we need. I'm going to make sure that that's all sloughed in there. I'm going to start another one. We're going to go start filling this with our mix. And these will be the two that just sort of crumple on top, kind of like when you put tissue paper in a gift bag. This is actually a lot of fun and is considerably more successful than I was expecting it to be. So, you know what? 2 out of 3 aren't bad, because I have a feeling the phyllo might have been a little too thick. I looked at it a couple of seconds ago and it's not getting as crispy as I'd hoped. That's okay. It'll still be delicious. Just might not be crispy. So we're going to do that. We're going to come over here. We're going to start spooning in our... They put a smoke detector in your kitchen? Oh, that's annoying. That's so annoying. I can't do that with mine Scotch Bear because it's hardwired in. Freaking stupid landlords. Yeah, they hardwired it in, so unfortunately there's no way of excuse me. There's no way of avoiding it. You have to have it. So can you all see this? Okay. So yes, I've got my springform there. I've got my stew that I've just dropped on the floor. Well done, bonsai. And it's reduced down really nicely. We're just going to poke it into the corners like that. And the rest of this, whatever doesn't go in here, is just going to go in the fridge or in the freezer. It'll be delicious as lunch by itself. There we go. Perfect. So I am happy with, oops! I am happy with how that looks. I'm going to turn that off. That is done. I've managed to throw chickpeas on the floor, even better. That's always a good start. Always a good start. Alright. So, all we do now is we just take this and we start folding these pieces over. And it's not going to reach the middle. That's totally not a problem, because we're going to have those extra pieces that I'm making right now that we're going to just crumple on top like gift wrap. We're going to go back to the stove.
I like this.
Oh.
This is cute. I want this
River
inside
so
of
wide.
me.
That's a brilliant idea. I will pretend I never heard that and try that next time, because that's flippin' brilliant. All right. So we're just going to get this guy off, butter him up a bit, and then we'll get one more, and I think we should be ready for the oven. That's perfect, because it'll be just about time to slice into everything. Oh my goodness. Am I really hearing that song? I am. It's funny, because PDS played this the other day and I thought it was hilarious. So the fact that it's showing up on my random happy hardcore mix is kind of hilarious. But apparently these days you can make hardcore out of any kind of music, so there you go. Purple People Eaters. Alright. I'm gonna get this one a little bit thicker too, just to have a little bit of extra crispy, crunchy body. And I think this is actually the perfect combo of pan and pot, because it seems to be cooking quite nicely. And the beauty of this pastry is that it can be sweet or savory. So if you wanted to do a lasagna tour, oh, Gondola House. I love this idea of a lasagna tour. That's amazing. So we've got this guy, and we're just gonna crumple it up like this and do sort of that as a hat. We're gonna wait for this guy, butter him up, and then we'll be ready to go in the oven. I'm going to take the opportunity while I'm waiting for that to double check and see how our phyllo is coming along. And yes. It is not quite as crispy as I'd hoped. Ooh! As she puts her finger through it, it's obviously as crispy as I'd hoped. Okay, I need a couple trivets here to put this down because I'm burning my hands. Woo! And they've burst about a bit at the edge, but yeah. I'm happy with the sound. We're good? We're good there, I think. So, perfect. We're going to let those cool off because those are molten. As you can see, the cheese is coming out, and we are going to go back to the stove to finish off this last layer here. It's just got a little bit longer. And this is going to be at about 425 or so. So, we get this guy poked through, and then we'll be able to put this beauty in the oven. I'm excited for this. This won't taste very long. It won't take very long. All right. Whew. That's a hot one. All right, I'm going to turn this off. Because we are done with that, we're going to butter this last layer. And then we'll be able to go straight into the oven. Perfect. And that used up all the butter too. Isn't that handy? So again, we just sort of crinkle it up like a gift wrap kind of thing in a tissue in a gift bag. Yeah. And it is fairly pliable, so like there are little crinklies around the edges, but there we go. I don't know about y'all, but I'm pretty excited with how that looks. That's really pretty. All right, I'm gonna grab a tray because I don't want to put it in there alone, just in case it leaks. So we're gonna slide that onto a tray, and we're gonna get that in the oven. That's gonna take about 15 minutes or so, which is perfect because that'll give us plenty of time to look at all this other beautiful stuff that we've got. Oh, Chroma, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate that, and love you very much. Have a great set tonight. I'm sure I will be by later to, you know, spam some emotes because that's what I do. Yeah. Oh, not Thanksgiving worthy. Oh, that's sad. Oh, Chef Boyardee ravioli sauce. Oh, that's DeVal. Hey, good to see you back. You've actually come just about at the perfect time because we're getting pretty close to having everything ready to go here. That was not so smart. I need to wash my hands off really quick here. I'm all buttery. And
Yummy!
Yes, thank you for the shout out for Chroma. I appreciate that, Underground. Sorry, my apologies. Just trying to think of all the things that I need to get out of the way here. So we have our beautiful parcels. You can hear the
Great
crunch.
job.
They're not as crispy as I was hoping, but that's okay. They're still going to be delicious. I'm going to grab a plate so that we can slide one on. Because we're also going to need to find a home for a piece of that bread and a piece of that cheese roll. So grab the plate now. And now that I can move this guy out of the way. Oops, maybe not. Get water all over your stove. But yeah, no, that's definitely, you know what? I'm definitely going to make that brick pastry again. That was a heck of an idea. Actually, I think that would be a really good idea for anything that needs sort of a indirect heat. So, yeah. I love learning new things. That was definitely a new thing to learn. I'm just going to dump out this water here so I can move some stuff out of the way. There we go. As much as I try, I still have all sorts of stuff. But at least it's not like last night. I was like, oh, I need to get all of this cleaned up quickly because I have to stream again tomorrow. So, move this out of the way. What did I do with my other? I don't even know what this is anymore. I'm listening to this and I'm like, I don't even know what this is anymore. Pastry, yeah, exactly. It's very, yeah, exactly. Devel, that's what I'm going to look like in about 2 hours once I'm done with all of you and I get some of this in my face. I'm going to be that person. First off, we are going to bring these beauties over because you all need to get a better look at these. And like I said, there's a reason I used a spring form. And that is it. Yes. Come on. Look at those. Those are absolutely perfect. And they're not stuck to the bottom, so even better. I am so super happy with those. And yeah. Oh, thank you, Slapping Acronyms. I appreciate that. I'm going to grab one of those, should I try tongs? No, I'm going to use a lifter. Because I really don't feel like dropping anything in the middle of the kitchen right now. So we're going to use a lifter for that. And I'm just going to grab one of my little piggies. And slide it onto my plate. Oh, I'm so excited about that. You can tell it's got that bit of give, so I'm excited to cut into it. But we're going to wait. We're going to wait, because of course we have our normal bread, which is also beautiful. I added some Parmesan to it, so maybe not your... I'm a savory breakfast person, so this I can eat every day. I don't care. I don't care what time of day. I will eat it in a house. I will eat it with a mouse, etc., etc. So there we go. And now we are just waiting on that pastry in the oven. So while that's happening, I'm actually going to hope you will indulge me and let me take a couple of photos before I rip into things. Because I also, not only do I forget to take photos, I also forget to take photos before I rip into them. So then it gets to the point where I'm like, oh, I wish I had a picture of the whole thing because it was really pretty. Move it forward just a smidge. I'm getting better. Do I post them anywhere? No, but... do I have them on my camera roll? Absolutely. Alright. And I'll get a picture of that in a minute. I don't know about anybody else, but the mobile dashboard is a pain in the ass. So we're just going to pretend that that doesn't happen. And I am going to... let's see here. Get a picture of this guy. Oh, thank you, Kat. I appreciate that. I'm very excited. I'm very excited. I'm not going to lie. Oh, Splatoon. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out. And I hope you have a great rest of your evening and have a fantastic weekend if I don't see you. I appreciate you being here. And yeah. I will definitely... oh, thank you. I'm going to. I am definitely going to. I will definitely post pictures of it and reviews when I finish here. So this is my little... pastry guy. I love his little brown spot there. I'm kind of excited about that. Not sure why, but I am. We're going to find out pretty quick here. Alright. So I'm going to go double check how we're doing in the stove here. I've never, like I said, I've never made this before. I've heard about it, so I don't know exactly how long it's going to take. I don't think it should take too long because I've got a fairly hot oven. So hopefully we'll be done pretty quickly and then we can break it all open, get some reviews. Oh yeah, that's coming along nicely. Give it a bump in the heat, and it should be about 5 more minutes. So that'll give us time to extricate some bread here. Grab a serrated knife, and we're just gonna cut straight down. I'm gonna take the whole ball. I want the whole ball. I'm so excited because last night I had nothing to eat after stream. Tonight I'm probably gonna be in a food coma. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm kidding, Underground. I will be ready to nod. I promise. Okay, so can we please get a load of that texture? Oh shit. Forgot. Sorry. Money shots. Okay, so I just cut it out. You didn't miss much, but can we please say hello to this texture? Come on. Oh my goodness, it's so fluffy. Yes. Nice buns, thank you. Oh, thank you. Like, check out that inside. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. I'm just gonna put that down. Oh, I am happy with that. Meow! Now, let's get one of these guys here.
I like this.
I'm gonna take
This is
guy.
cute.
This guy's
I want
calling
this
my
inside
name.
of me.
And just made a bit of a mess. That's okay. That's what I love about these kind of rolls, is they just sort of pull apart really nice. And there we go. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes, database time. Just gonna slide that out of the way. Oh my goodness, running out of spots to put all the good stuff. We're gonna put that here. Oh, Underground, you're gonna be so excited. You're gonna be so excited. Alright, let's take a look at this guy. So pretty. And look at the texture on that. Look at that cheese. Oh, yeah. Oh, let's unravel him a bit. Oh,
Can I get a
yes.
hell
Look
yeah?
at that.
Can I get a hell
Oh,
yeah?
my goodness. And the smell. Flipping incredible. I'm so excited about that. So excited.
Yummy.
And now we're just waiting for that last little bit. Yeah, food porn. 100%. Oh, yes. Text and scripted, 100%. I will happily UPS. No, not UPS. I hate UPS. FedEx. FedEx is cool. FedEx is cool. And you know what? I'm going to actually just put some of this stew on the side here, so, just so you can have a better look at it. And that is... Ow. Hot. That's really hot. That was really dumb. But yeah, that is a thing of beauty, and I am very looking forward to digging into that. Can't wait to cut open this guy, actually. Where's my knife? Let's... Okay, I'm gonna lean in because I'm gonna try and get the sound. If there's any crunch. Okay, there is some crunch. Oh, there it is. Crunch on the bottom. Oh, it's a little doughy there, but that's okay. We'll just take that off and we'll eat the delicious insides there. Could have used a couple more minutes in the oven, but that's okay. I can slide those back in. This is the bigger of them. So, but other than that not being quite cooked through, I'm really happy with the filling, and you can tell the top there is really crispy. So yeah, I'll shove the other ones back in the oven and let those go. And I'll put this one back in too. I'm not too concerned. I figured, you know, if I can get like 2 or 3, I'm good. So we're happy with that. That looks fine. Oh, thank you, Deb Siren. I appreciate it. Love you, Pickle. I want to eat it all too. And I'm thinking I can kind of hear some crackling over at my stove, so I'm just gonna head over this way. I'm gonna do a double check. Just gonna give it another couple minutes. I'm gonna give it a flip around too because I have a hot spot in my oven, so I'm just gonna let that go. So I am dying to try this stew though, because I think it's I will post that. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate that. That stew is amazing. If you need to do like a meatless Monday or just want to get more really delicious things in your life, this is bomb. That mixture of those Moroccan spices, and I know a lot of people saw the cinnamon going in and were like, you can't taste it. it's really just sort of an underlying hum that doesn't give you any like specific
I like
harsh
this.
flavor.
This is
it just
cute.
enhances everything.
I want
so
this inside
I know,
of me.
like, I'm still not going to put it in my chili or my spaghetti sauce. I apologize, Cincinnati. That's not my thing. But in kitchen prep and ability, yeah, I'm looking forward to when are you going on Tactical? At 7? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Put all this in. Yeah, lumpy pickle. Exactly. Yeah. No. And it's
I
funny
don't know
because
what this
everybody
is,
thinks
but
that
it's
cinnamon
kinda
is going to
hot.
be really overwhelming, and I know that people. Oh, I'm going to take a drink. I know people see cinnamon and they're like, "Oh, that's going to be awful." No, it's one of those beautiful things. It's kind of the perfect spice because it not only enhances what it's around, but it's also really good at being a standout depending on how you use it. It also depends. It also depends on what you're using, what kind you're using. I have 3 different kinds. There are different kinds of cinnamon. What I used today was what they call true cinnamon. Where did I put it? Over here. This is Indonesian cinnamon, which is what most people are used to when they buy cinnamon. That is typically what you get in the grocery store is the Indonesian. There's also Vietnamese cinnamon and there's Sri Lankan cinnamon, both of which have very different applications. I'm walking to get them. I'll be right back. I do have multiple cinnamons. Yes, I am that person. Where is it? Oh. Where are my... Okay, well, anyways. I know they're around here somewhere. Oh, is that them? No, that's not them. I'm just gonna keep talking as I search for things, because I know I have them. No, they're here. Don't hide from me. They're hiding from me right now. Ah, there they are. Okay, so cinnamon and St. Pete's, and in Mexican hot chocolate, 100%. I love, and that's the kind of thing. It's like when people see chocolate in things, that's a very, very typical thing in Mexican cooking and South American cooking because they don't use like Hershey's milk chocolate. They use like dark, 100% beautiful, no hiding with the pastry brush. Nice. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, Quixotic. Hiding with the pastry brush. Oh, I just got, yeah. And LOL, it's very, once you start getting into it, you'll recognize what you like it in and what you don't, where it belongs and where it doesn't. But I do have some other things. So like I said, that was the Indonesian. And then there's what's called Sri Lankan or true cinnamon. You'll find this it's a much more subtle. You'll find this in a lot more of European baking and a lot of lighter things, just because it has a much less punchy hit. And so it comes in the ground. And I've also got the quills, which are beautiful. And then I've also got that Indonesian cinnamon in quills, which is gorgeous. And then the Vietnamese cinnamon, which is probably the harshest of them all. It's definitely the one that you will find in actual chocolate. Oh, yes, actual chocolate. The Vietnamese cinnamon is the one that you're most likely to find in Southeast Asian dishes, Vietnamese, Indian, those areas. It's mostly used as a simmering agent. It gives that background cinnamony hint. So, yeah. And it's beautiful. Like, I put this in most of my curries, and in a lot of my Latin food as well. So, yeah. So now that we've had Cinnamon Day, let's go check and see if my final pièce de résistance is done here. And I'm thinking needs just a quick second under the broiler. It's a little, because those top ones are just a little thick, so I'm going to give it a couple seconds under the broiler. I'm actually going to bring you over to the stove while I wait, because this is how I broil things. I don't leave, because it goes from hero to zero in no time, and we don't want to burn anything. But I do want to get a little bit more color on that top part, just because it's a little bit thicker. So, I will show you what it looks like right now. I think we've got this happening so far. I just want to get a little bit of color in there. So we've just turned on the broiler. I'm going to give it another turn. Really glad I put this on a tray because it is leaking a smidge. So I'm just going to hang out here while we do that. Pick away at the little pieces there that fell out. Yeah, this guy's a little better. And this guy could use a little more time, so I will put those up again. And it must be pretty chilly out because I've got the window open and I've been baking all day and it's not hot in here, so that's a good sign. That's a very good sign. So let me check my... Yeah, we're as golden as we can get. I am very happy with that. And let me turn my oven off here. Before I forget, because I forgot to do that one day, I couldn't figure out why it was so hot like 3 hours later. I'm like, are you kidding me? And it's because I forgot to turn my oven off. So I am very happy with that. We've got some lovely crisp edges here. We've got that lovely brown on the top. We've got that gorgeous stew in there. I'm just going to grab... I'm going to move this guy off there. Got all the paper everywhere. This is going to be a fun cleanup, let me tell you. And we're going to move this. Whoops. One-handed grab is not happening. There we go. -9. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. It was -7 earlier, so that's not too bad. That is super hot, so there we go. That is our Moroccan pie with our Warka pastry, which I'm very excited about. I am going to just take a knife and go around the edge just to get, yeah, all the dishes tonight. Because this is pretty buttery, I'm not too concerned, and it has pulled away. But again, this is why I use 2 pot holders.
Banzai.
Come on, Banzai.
Hey, Banzai.
Oh, shit. Oh,
It's
thank
steam
you.
sauce. Chad has asked me to tell you you can't see what you're doing. Wrong
I was
camera.
doing so well. I don't know why I have such a... I'm terrible with that. That's why we have that, is because I always forget. Alright, so I've just run my knife around it, just to sort of loosen it, and that's why I'm using a springform pan, along with my oven mitts here, so we can just release it. Just like... Come on. Come on. There we go. And there we have it, folks. The very last piece of the puzzle. Our Moroccan pie with Warka pastry. I don't know about anybody else, but I think that looks pretty darn good. And I'm gonna get the ubiquitous photo, and I appreciate you guys. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yes, release the Kraken, 100%. Thanks, Tad. I appreciate that. I'm very excited about it. I am just going to take one last photo. We're going to cut into it, and then we're going to taste this all. Because I am starving.
You like it? I love it.
And I am so happy with how everything turned out today. And like I said, I will post all of this on my Discord. The recipes along with the tips on how to freeze everything. So that you can do this, and how you can do this ahead of time. So that you can save yourself time over the holidays. So you're not stuck doing 85 things within 2 days. You can take your time. Where's my lifter? Oh, there it is. Okay, so we're just going to cut into this part here because it looks like it's going to be tasty. Oh yeah. I probably should let it set for a few minutes, but I'm hungry and I want you guys to see it. And just gonna put that right down into that. Whew. Heat. Okay, you know what? I need something to grab onto it with because that's not working for me. My fingers are on fire. Let's try some tongs just to anchor it. There we go. Perfect. Got that cut through there. Oh yeah, it's got that beautiful crisp. I have a feeling the bottom is going... Oh, I can see the steam rising from it. That's exciting. It's just... Yeah, that's the other reason you want to give it a few minutes to rest, is so you can actually touch it with your hands. Instead of smushing it with your tongs. Ah! So hot. Oh. Whew, hot. Not my finest moment, but that's okay. There we go. We're getting through there. We're getting through there. Whew. Okay. I think we are... Are we free? Are we free? Almost free. Oh, yes. Got so many layers, you have to make sure you get through them all. Ooh! Hot! Hot, hot, hot! Okay, if anybody can come up with the superpower of turning my hands into asbestos, that would be amazing. Alright. There we go. Check that out. It was worth it. It was worth the burns. It was worth the burns. Thank you, Lovey Pickle. I appreciate that. Y'all, I'm so excited. Just gonna move this out of the way because that is flippin' hot and doesn't need to be here. But it has nowhere else to go. We're just gonna put it there. We're gonna put it there for now. But let's take a closer look at these. Ah. Like, check out those layers. Oh, I'm so happy. Oh, the steam coming out. That's going to be the last thing I eat. Because that's the only thing we have left to do right now is taste all this. I am pretty excited. I've showed you guys the texture of the bread. I've showed you the stew and this, and now I just have this last little bit right there for you to see. That beautiful pie. And, yeah, we are going to... get a little bit of everything. So I've tried the stew. It's so good.
Great job.
Thank you, Underground. I appreciate that. Let's get into it with a little bit of that pastry. That is going to burn my face, and I'm okay with it. This is going to be an ugly bite. I apologize. This is going to be an ugly bite. Wow. That pastry is actually, considering it's just flour and water, is amazing. Yeah, Lovey Pickle, I hate it. I hate it. It's awful. Yeah, wow. And this bread. Come on. It's delicious. I'm gonna try this phyllo next. Because I love red pepper and feta and goat's cheese and olives, so. I thought it was underbaked. It's not actually. It's just kind of wet from the filling, so I'm happy. I'm so happy! Yeah, exactly. It's got a good crunch, so it's wetness from the filling, not from being underbaked, which is good. Whoops. Last but not least, this is the one I've been waiting for, so that's why I've been saving it till last. Oh, just look at that beautiful... So good! This is like choke on a crumb. Excuse me. I will throw things across the kitchen. That is a touchdown. Oh my goodness, yes, all the carbs. All the carbs. Thank you, Andrea. I'm gonna choke on my water here. Oh, You all... Wow. Wow. That was literally success top to tail. I am so happy with all of that. And like I said, so many of these things, like, this can be made and then frozen before you bake it, and then you can bake it from frozen. This can be made and then you can layer it, wrap it in parchment, and put it in your freezer. And this pastry can be same thing, wrapped up, put in the freezer. The bread, this is actually a great way to prepare yourself for having stuff for French toast the next day. This is beautiful. It's multi-versatile. It would go beautifully over rice as well. It's also great as it is. I'm going to eat it with bread because I can. And it'll freeze lovely. So yeah, I will definitely make sure that these all get up onto the Discord so that you can give them a try yourself. Because anything that makes life easier at this time of year is a win in my book. And these are 4 gigantic wins. So anyways, thank you all so much for being here. I appreciate you so much. I would have to start scrolling through Texas Cryptid, Quixotic Jedi, Tat, Cat, LOL, Dub Siren, Funk Shop, Nick, Devel House, Tactical, who else am I missing? I'm missing everybody. Oh my goodness, I'm missing everybody. Chaotically Damien, Snacky, yeah, just bakery tomorrow. We'll talk about it in a minute, Elizabeth. Sorry. Elizabeth, thank you. Sorry, mostly quiet. I need to have the disclaimer that Tactical has on his, and I'm really sorry that I can't raid into you, because I know you're not live. Are you live yet, Tactical? Because unfortunately I have to get my butt in gear so that I can get ready for Underground to go on. Not yet. Oh, I'm sorry. I would raid it to you. I'm sorry. Dub Siren, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And Gridlock, and who else is here that I can't remember all of a sudden? I'm terrible for this. Oh, iDad. Devel, iDad, you guys have an amazing night tonight, and if you don't take pictures, it didn't happen. So, hint, take a lot of pictures. I want to see. Thank you, Tactical. Make sure you're following Tactical if you're not already. He's my brother from another mother and one of my favorite humans on the planet. And make sure you give Mrs. Hueso a big hug for us. And yeah, I'm hoping PDS, if you're still listening in the background, I hope you and Giles have a great rest of your night out. River So Wide for your napalm, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate that. It's been a heck of a day, and I'm super excited. Who else is on right now? Jolt Dude, thank you. I'm sorry, it's not that... Mark Delight and... Oh, I am losing my mind. Chroma. I'm trying to think down the lines of Borders, Candy Kid Zora, and Danny C. And yeah, it's just been an insane. Let me just check and see what else is happening underground. Who else? Okay. Oh, Devel, thank you so much for the resub. That's incredibly great. That's incredibly gracious of you, and I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I guess. Hang on. Let me see. Open and link a new tab. I'm starting now that I've got a mouse. I'm actually getting better at things. So I'll see what's happening on my computer's. Like, I don't want to think. Wait, how long is that? Oh, they won't even notice. It's like, I was gonna say raid Crown Channel with Kitchen League, but yeah, that's not gonna happen. Yeah, you know what? Let's go over to Audrey and Joy's. We will hang out with her and her adorable puppies. And, yes, thank you so much, everybody, for being here. I appreciate it. I appreciate it greatly. And I will be back on Sunday afternoon. Underground Rescue Channel, I love you so much. Thank you for everything. This channel would not happen without you. Texas Cryptid, yeah, exactly. I'm pretty much, once I hit end stream, I'm like, bye. Yeah. And yes, mostly quiet. Have a great rest of your weekend. Love you guys so much. Love you all. And I appreciate you being here. I'm super lucky that you guys are willing to spend time with me, and I don't take it for granted. I know how lucky I am to be able to share some time with you, and yeah, I appreciate it. How are we doing for the raid? I'm terrible when Underground does the raids because I have no control over it, so I'm kind of nervous that I'm going to keep talking and he's just going to cut me off. So, where are we? Are we ready to go? Are we ready to go? Anyways, love you. Just say bye. Okay. Love you guys. Have a great weekend. Mwah. Bye.